Okay, Nimbula, Nimbula. Bula, Bula Vinaka, everyone. Thank you for joining in today. I'm very blessed and pleased to have our guest joining in from beautiful Melbourne. I know many of our family uh, living in Melbourne, especially those of us who are from Kadavu. So this is a very special series that we're doing to celebrate online the special day that we are looking forward to next week, which is the Solevu Kei Kadavu. This is the third year going, if I'm correct. I was sharing it to Sylvia. We started in 2024, 2025, and now it's 2026. And thanking Mbulo Una Nawalwalo Manulevu and her hardworking committee in Fiji for organizing a very special event like this to bring all the Kadavu people together. So I'm logging in from beautiful, balmy, hot, summery Busan in Korea. And I'm sure Sylvia is nice and cool in Melbourne. As you all know, we often kickstart our Talano with a song. I have our usual Liwaibiona Tokalau song to welcome everybody to the program and also to take us virtually to the beautiful island of Kadavu. Nimbula, Nimbula Vinaka.
Iwabiau na tokalau embarawi kei Kadavu guerra tu na mangu enandela ni veivatu maliwa ni singani suru na tawase ni ambaki aula kovatu nambara vilomani lutu sombu na karombo ambolo mai na sereboli do maia do la kova koro marau tawayalani Maravundina na wasa-wasa sekabula na dakau era nunu na taurabo iwanua na kamandao marau miyamaki au mai tonu yatu Kadavu yanu yanu ni sautu lutu somu na karomo ambolo mai na sereboli do mai do la kova koro marau na saudade. Bambolo mai na serevoli na saudade. Gorindina na yanu yanu, mas na saudade.
Yes, rong-rong vinaka na Sierra. Vavula Sarakanavananando Ikandavo. Bulavinaka to everyone listening in early this morning. It's a Saturday morning and it's 8 minutes past 9 in Melbourne. So we have a wonderful guest, Sylvia, who is here with us, and she will introduce herself and tell us her connection to Kandavo. Bulavinaka, Sylvia.
Bula Vinaka, Dr. Tarisi. My name is Sylvia Coombe. My Fijian cultural heritage. My father's mother is from Tawava in Yawe and Kandavu, and my mother's mother is from Tambia, Solevu in Lambasa. I was born in the wonderful CWM hospital in Suva, but I was raised mostly in Nandi, the beautiful west side of Fiji.
Yes, the Jet City, eh? Jet City, Jet Town, I think they call it. We should call it Jet City. It's already a city.
The West is best.
The West is best. So, Mbula Vinaka to all our friends from Nandi. If you're listening in, Wakambula Chukanvikemni, because Sylvia has a lot of wonderful memories of growing up in Nandi before she moved across to Australia. So tell us, Sylvia, how many years have you been living in Australia?
So I came to Melbourne, and I've always lived in Melbourne. I came in 1989. We came after the first coup, and I came here to study first, and then I eventually met my husband and ended up with 2 kids, and I've been here since for about 37 years. So that's revealing my age.
So the secret is out?
Yeah, the secret is out.
Wow, Vinakavaleu Sylvia, and I understand that you've been holding a lot of very important roles in Melbourne. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I was privileged about 2 years ago to be the first Pacifica and Fijian and from Kandavu to be the
Yes.
first Pacifica commissioner in the Victorian Multicultural Commission. And that's a department in the Victorian state government. And
Wow.
the role of the Victorian Multicultural Commission was to promote all the multicultural communities, especially the newly emerging communities, take up their issues, bring it up to the government, and and let their voices be heard. But I was another role that I was privileged to hold is only last year in October on Fiji Day, I was bestowed the honor of honorary consul of Fiji to Victoria. So I'm the first woman, again from Kandavu, um, to hold that honor. I believe there was a few applicants going for that role, which is usually a mixture of Fijian and non-Fijian people going for that role.
Yes.
Um, and I get to help not only Fijian citizens, but also a lot of non-Fijian citizens that want to visit the beautiful islands of Fiji. I think I should be showcasing Kandavu more because they all seem to be going to Nandi.
So that's your task for the next 12 months, eh? Promote Kandau.
Yeah, but my professional role, and one thing I just always been a big advocate, is women in non-traditional job roles. So I work in the construction industry in Melbourne. I'm in one of the major projects, billions of dollars of work and infrastructure. The work will go on to 2035. So my role there is as a manager in audit and compliance. And I've always been in those industries in automotive, trucking, manufacturing, and now in major construction, which is quite big, because it employs people, it connects the resultant product will be connecting people to the places that would normally take a lot of time on the road, get people off the road and on the trains.
Dr. Saranga Sylvia, thank you for, sharing your other roles that were bestowed on you, but also you have your own, a career that you do every day.
Yep. And on top of
So,
them being a mother to to two sons,
yes.
and not only that, two fur babies, my dogs.
Oh, Sabi na Sylvia, and I'm always, happy to see you, participating on so many Fijian activities. In Melbourne, you are very active. What would you like to say to our Fijian community members that are listening today or may listen to our interview in terms of, reaching out to you or the services that you provide with your new role?
I think the best bet is because my honorary consul details is on the government website, but knowing that a lot of people don't normally go to government websites unless they looking for something in particular. I think perhaps should be doing is reaching out more to the diaspora
Yeah.
and letting them know that those are the services. My services I provide are information only because the
Okay.
honorary consul role is not a paid role.
Right.
There are paid staff in the High Commission in Canberra, and there's also paid staff in the Trade Consulate in Sydney. So a lot of times
Mm.
I'm directing them to either of
Okay.
them, to Sydney or Canberra, to get their visas, their passports renewed is a very popular one.
Right.
And then all kinds of things like, maybe perhaps taking ashes across from here
Mm.
to Fiji to get, buried,
Mm.
or, those kind of things.
Mm.
But it's, it's like what you say, volunteer work is it's a thankless,
Yes.
thankless work, but I think at the end of the day, it's serving the community, and
Yes,
and I think that love for community is what burns in your soul,
yes.
much more than money can ever provide.
Amen to that. Amen, Sylvia. Di na todo ko, eh? As the one of the verses in the Bible that we all know, the blessed are the ones that give, than those that receive. So with you giving your time and your energy and your knowledge, that is so valuable. So on behalf of all of us, Fijian community, in Australia and in Melbourne in particular, Vinakavakalevu Sylvia for the work that you do. So now
Naka.
for the Solevu Day that is coming up next week, um, how did you know about this event, Sylvia? And now that you know, what would you like to tell our audience, especially our Kandavu people in Fiji and overseas?
I think I found out on Facebook, but I also found out from Manasa.
Yes.
Manasa always sends me information about anything Kadavu or anything that he would like to promote. And I think that's the beauty of being connected to people on Facebook. What a powerful tool social media is. Um, Highlighting, cultural heritage is so important to, especially to people like me from mixed Fijian heritage. As you can
Yes.
see, I'm not, I don't look, don't look Fijian. The Fijian face now is all, integrated, and um, um, I think the other thing is also I wanted to say was that's how I found out about the details of my Kandavu heritage was
Oh.
from my cousin, Devita. I think he's
Oh.
on Facebook as David Vasu Vuniwai.
Wuniwai,
And
right.
it's through Tevita I actually found out the the actual nuances of my actual cultural heritage. Because the thing I found was, although we come from big families back home in Fiji, no one wants to talk really. A lot of spoken knowledge of where we come from is actually in people's heads. And then
Yeah.
and because of circumstances, a lot of people don't have the opportunity, especially the younger generation, to ask and learn
Mm,
about where parents and grandparents have come from, the traditions, the cultures. And by the time we're at my age, I'm in my
mm,
50s, by the time we're in my age, it's quite hard to backtrack along the
mm.
lines. And I'm so grateful to Tevita because it was through Tevita who I connected in 2019. He actually backtracked a few generations for me
Wow.
about my Bumbu's heritage from Tawava. And that's how I slowly could be able to backtrack how and where she's placed in in that status in the village. And
Mm,
that's the power of social media and connecting. And one thing I want to say is this is why it's so important when there is community functions, especially Fijian community functions, go to it because you never know who you're going to meet. It could be some random person, and all of a sudden they'll say, "Oh, I'm from this Koro, or I'm from this village."
mm.
That's how the dots all connect because
Yeah.
slowly you can build back your family tree. Another reason why this is so important, not only for cultural heritage, but I'm finding as I'm getting older as a woman, us women, we get a lot of medical problems as we get older. And a lot of times when the doctor says, "Does your family have this background?" I don't know because a lot of my I can maybe go back one generation, but not the other generations
Mm,
before. So I don't know really like how grandparent, what did they die from, what
mm.
illnesses they had, because this is all clues to the current doctors now of
Yes.
how we survive and and how we can boost our longevity. Because I've been seeing a lot of Fijian people are dying early, and
Tēnā
that's a lot of
saranga.
them are diet related and all kinds of maybe genetically related. But how are we supposed to know if we're not asking those questions and not connecting with our own people and people from our own village so that we can dot the i's and cross the t's.
Tēnā. Tēnā saranga. That's a very good point, Sylvia. That knowing your family line or lineage will be, of course, beneficial for our heritage knowledge and our identity. But the medical side, that's something that you've just highlighted now, which is really important that we need to talk about it more.
Yes, I'm on a research project here in Melbourne, and it's for our DNA, and it's all about genomic research study.
Yes.
This is why they're taking samples of maybe a drop of people's blood to
Yeah.
find out whether your blood, and particularly from the islands, not only Fiji, but Pacific Islands, we're quite hesitant when it comes to things like this. But
Mm.
this is how you can preserve life. This is how we can live past 60. A lot of people are passing
Yes.
away at 60, 65, 70. Like we want to be living into our, 80s and 90s.
Saranga. Well, Sylvia, I'm here in Korea. You know, every
Yeah.
morning I'm doing my morning walk. I'm walking past people who are in their 80s, you
Yeah,
know, and I'm like smiling at them, and they just gave me this kind of, hope that we as islanders and from Fiji and from Kadavu, we need to live long.
exactly. Because living long means more time to pass that message down, pass the culture down, and pass the traditions down. Like a lot of people would, I want to see my great grandchildren, but the first thing I have to do is take care of myself. I got to take care of my health. Yeah.
Nasaranga. And from talking to David, which whom I will interview later on today, what was any particular memory of your mumbu?
So what I could gather from not only David but my mother and a couple of aunties, from my father's lineage, there's only one auntie left out of 13 of them. She lives in Canberra. And Bumbu, I heard, were left Tawava to go and work in Suva because
Yeah.
that's where all the work is. So when
Yes.
she left, she met my grandfather, who is Indian. So
I
she met my
see.
grandfather, and they settled in Samambula in
Mhm.
Fulanga Street. And I remember when my dad used to take us to my Bumbu's house in Fulanga Street. Sometimes every now and then someone from the village will her village will come and they will, I remember sitting in the front porch with all the things they brought back from the village, maybe some
Oh,
dalo, some cassava, and fruit. And
yes.
I used to say to my dad, who's who's that? And they said, oh, that's Bumbu's family from Kandavu. And they were
Oh,
so humble. I remember them sitting on the mat at the front porch, and because the house was high up and you'd have the sea breeze coming through and they'd be sitting there with their eerie. um, and those were fond memories, but I loved my Bumbu. When she passed away long time ago, I think I was in Nandi, a teenager in Nandi, but she didn't speak much about her
oh.
her her past. And then even the aunties that were after that, my her brothers and sisters, they didn't speak much. There was a lot of, I don't know why, there's a lot of things that are not said, and it makes it hard for
Mm.
children to, like, I know more about my Bumbu, I call her Nana, my mother's mother, than I do who is from Lambasa, than I do from my Kandavu grandmother. But all I know is, like Devita was telling me, is she came from Tawava, and once she married the Indian man in Suva, there was some story that mm, she she couldn't go back because she married
Oh,
outside. I don't know. I don't know the real story, but there's no one to ask
so
now because nobody wants to talk about it.
absolutely. And
Those kind of
especially the
things.
race, eh? The race issue was
And
very
in
sensitive
if
back
yeah,
then.
if you think that time, um, but I've been talking to Devita over the years about wanting to go back. This is one thing I was going to raise because there's a lot of mixed race and even Fijians that don't speak the fluent Fijian. Like, to go back, like, what's the process to go back? Like, do we have
Yeah.
to go back to, do we have to take a family? Does someone have to invite us? Tevita always says, look, you cuz you come with me, we go together, we just have to take some things to the chief of the village. But
Mm.
all those protocols, if you think about someone who is living abroad, all those protocols, not only to a Gen X, but to a Gen Y and Gen Z, it's like um, you
Mm.
know, it's almost like too much. And then he was telling me how much it was going to cost. And I was going, wow, that
Mm.
much? And he said, yeah, I mean, because to go back, it's a big thing. Because not many people from my own family have gone back to Kandavu. I think
Mm.
only an uncle has gone back, and maybe one of my other cousins. And Tevita goes nearly every year or every second year.
Right.
But not many of us go back. We kind of like congregate to the mainland, Vitilevu.
Yeah.
Like I haven't even been to Vanuatu to Lambasa, and Mom says,
Mm.
um, there's her lineage, they have a lot of land there in Lambasa, and those are all the things, those cultural nuances. You want to
Yeah.
go back, but you just don't know. You kind of quite hesitant of all the protocols, the cost,
Mhm.
you know.
Mm.
Um, and that's why another thing was that's why when it comes to community days in
Yes.
places abroad, like we're gonna have one in on the 24th of October for our Kandavu Yasana here in Melbourne.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do is it's a fundraising event. We do this every year, and we're going to invite our Tavus from Ra and Nandranga to come also. We're also going to pledge. And we're also trying to get a Fijian singer at Ngonerongo from
Yes.
Fiji to come over and sing. So it's going to be, we're encouraging and inviting a lot of
Mm.
Fijians, especially here in Australia, abroad, to come and support us. Because when you support each other, you're
Yes.
supporting your village, your people. Because who knows, one of them is probably from your village or your
Mm.
island. Um,
Yes.
there's strength in unity, is what I was going to say.
Yeah,
Mm.
absolutely, Sylvia. And Nasar, and in terms of the topic you raised earlier, in terms of going back home, now you have your two sons, because
Yeah,
sometimes I've spoken to many Tokay family, those of mixed heritage, those who married, other races. I always remind them, sometimes you have to think of your children because, when you are gone, what will they do? So it's very important that you connect them to the Bubale so that, when they plan to go back, to back to their Vanua, there's always, protocol. You're very fortunate you've got David, Tevita Vasu, who is there to advise you. And there will be someone, in your community who can, help you, maybe rather than worrying about the cost, in a very, because it can get increase, can get higher over time. There's always ways around it, to make sure, because the focus is for you to get there, for
exactly.
you not to worry about all the rest of the expenses on the side, because that can be dealt with. So that's something that we've kind of like encouraged a few people, Sylvia.
I think it's me. I think I'm very good at making excuses. When I mention the cost, really, I'm going to Europe every year and I'm worrying about the cost to go to Kadavu.
Yeah, Reva. So now
Priorities, priorities.
refocus back to Kadawi. Yes. Um, and for next week, what would you tell our, Kadavu Valley overseas and those back home about the two special days, the 30th and the 31st of July for the Solevu Day? What words of encouragement would you like to share?
I just want to say to everyone who's listening, who are not only from Fiji and also from the beautiful island of Kandavu, and abroad, to please support the Solevu Kei Kadavu, and especially since it's going to highlight not the beautiful culture and traditions uh, of of the island, but it also is a way of preserving your culture. Because when people come together in one place, and if you have God in that place, I believe it's going to be a kind of a unification, a celebration. I believe there's going to be sports, music, entertainment, etc., and cultural exhibitions of cultural heritage. So those kind of things, I think, is very important to be celebrated. And for those who cannot make it, I think there's details where you can actually donate something towards the event, especially for those abroad. Noting that it's kind of last minute. It's like next. I'm sure you guys have been planning it for
Yes.
months. Noting, I'm hoping the next one in Kandavu is going to be in 2028,
Yes.
so that we can all go and join and be part of the big celebration on
Mm.
that island.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's something that I've been hearing that has been planned by the committee that in 2027 or 2028, as you said, I prefer 2028, that we can all go to Kadavu in July, to celebrate the Solevu Kei Kadavu. And I think this event is, as you said, is to get everyone together, plus also the funds can help, the hospital, the schools, the roads, lots of other development things that is needed. And I hope to Sylvia that by that time we may have a new boat for
Oh,
Kadavu, because
yes.
we don't
Yeah.
have the Bologna Deva anymore, but we hope that our organizers will start to think of a long-term plan to have our own provincial boat. What would you think? What do you think of that, Sylvia?
Well, we here in Melbourne, we have been trying last year to try and gather the state diasporas for the boat. I'm not sure what happened, what was the, you know, progress of that, but that has been on our mind here in Melbourne
Mm,
in particular, talking about the fundraising for the boat. And a lot of the fundraising we do here in Melbourne is actually not to help also back
nice.
home. One person I want to highlight is a youth, a young and emerging leader. Her name is Claudia Nambalarua, and she went back to Kandavu in 2025. And what she did was she went to Vunisia Secondary School,
Mm-hmm.
and took a whole lot of school supplies. So this is a young emerging
Wow.
leader. She's been doing it, her and her family have been doing it for years. Her
Yeah.
mother is from the beautiful VCC village, and
Yes.
they've been collecting a lot of school supplies, and through all the donations from the Kandavu youth here, and they've been doing this for a while. Um, she
Yeah.
has showcased her trip in 2025, and it's those tangible things when you actually see stuff that you've donated go back to things like school, especially education. That
Yes.
really warms the hearts of the people in the
Yes.
diaspora, because not only Fijians gave, especially non-Fijians, they gave a lot of things for these type of things. And I really encourage our young people to be part of initiatives like this.
Yes.
Uh, and if there isn't one, start one. If you're in a
Yes.
place where no one's doing things like this, start one. Give back to the schools back home in Kandavu, and
Mm.
or your village. Like
Yeah.
even if it's a small amount, give regularly, because the more you give, the more you get back from God. It's all about the soul, you know.
Yeah.
The end of the day,
Amen.
we're here to honor God, and then at the end of the day, it's all for His glory.
Nakabalib, Sylvia. That's a beautiful way to round up our Talano today. And I know you have another meeting to go to, but for you to be here with me today, Vaviri Vinakabakalevu Veiko Sylvia, for taking the time out this morning, early morning for you on a Saturday, to come and share a little bit about you, a little bit about your Vubale, and also showcasing the very special day of the Solevu Kei Kadavu next week. Anything else you would like to share, Sylvia?
Um, I just want to encourage young people again, keep putting your hand up to volunteer, even if it's anything as simple as helping set up or clean up at your community events. And for those who have not been part of a community group, please join your yasanas in your event in your places where you are abroad, especially those abroad. And if you don't have one, form one. It doesn't cost anything. Form one, and that way you all stay connected, because times are changing. Times are hard now. Cost of living's cost of living has gone up. So the more
Yeah.
we share, the more resources we share, the more we stay connected, the more we
Yes.
can help each other.
Nakabakalim. Wow. Nakabalim Sir Sylvia, for challenging our youths out there, our young leaders, and also shout out to Claudia Nambalarua for doing such a wonderful job in thinking of the schools in Kandavu. And I'm sure there will be lots of young people listening too. As Sylvia said, please, anyone from Fiji, anyone from the Pacific that is listening right now, do something, contribute something to your school, your kindergarten, for the community, for
Exactly.
our women, for our youths in the village. There's always something that they need. Please reach out to someone, reach out to them, and we will be blessed with the wonderful work that you are doing. Vinakabalib Sir Sylvia, I wish you all the very best and enjoy the rest of your Saturday.
Vinaka, and I look forward to listening to Tevita's session after this.
Sandon,
Vinaka.
Vinaka Mode.
Vinaka, mode,
Naka,
mode.
sa vavinivinaka ve Sylvia za Coombe Sam Sartiko ko may Melbourne, may Australia, acknowledging her for sharing her work in Melbourne. So for those of our Fijian diaspora in Melbourne, please reach out to Sylvia for any large information questions about Fiji. That's something that she has been the role that has been given to her as the honorary consul
Yep.
for Fiji in Melbourne. So the Fijian embassy is in Canberra, and the consulate is
Yep.
um,
Sydney.
is in Sydney. Yeah, so
Yeah.
there you go. Yeah, so Vinakapakalipsar to everybody. I'm so happy to be connected to Sylvia this morning. And for the rest of you listening, there will be more interviews the whole of this weekend. We are inviting all our Kandavu supporters, our Ngonini Kandavu Tubakadaka to Anniversary Borobor. They will be joining us from France, from Canada, from USA, Australia, and New Zealand. So, sa totale ni sa mo demanda. Pinaka,
Naka, mode,
mode,